The numbers are startling. This year alone, more than 230,000 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. And for the most part, finding the prostate cancer treatment, the right one, can be a very daunting task. That's why Bob Marckini wrote the book called You Can Beat Prostate Cancer and You Don't Need Surgery to Do It. He looked for alternative treatments when he was diagnosed 8 years ago. Bob, a local guy from Mattapoisett, he wrote this book to talk about his journey and to raise awareness, and the response to the book has been tremendous. So congratulations on that, and congratulations on your good health now as well, Bob. Talk about the book and why it was important for you to write this book and to share your experience with everybody else.
Well, when I was diagnosed 8 years ago, I did all the traditional things. I studied the internet, read books, interviewed doctors, but the more research I did, the more confused I became. So I started interviewing former patients, and I learned more from that than anything else. But I promised myself that someday I would write a book and help prevent men from going through the kind of anxiety that I went through 8 years ago.
So you went through all the research and determine what the best course of action was for you. What did you finally wind up deciding to do?
I chose a little-known treatment at the time called proton beam radiation therapy. It was only done at Loma Linda University Medical Center in Southern California. And it's a unique form of radiation that targets the tumor and does minimal collateral damage. It, for me, was the best decision I ever made in my life. I've survived cancer, I have no side effects, and it's a treatment that's now being discovered around the world.
A lot of people are going to the surgery route when they are diagnosed with prostate cancer. What are some of the side effects that result from that and ultimately lead people to other decisions like you did to choose other therapies?
Well, the most common side effects from any form of treatment can be impotence and incontinence. I discovered that with surgery, about 3/4 of the men who have surgery are left impotent, and about 1/3 are left incontinent without bladder control. I was 57 when I was diagnosed, and I wasn't ready for either of those things. I was lucky to discover proton therapy.
Are you finding more people are going this route now?
Yeah.
And is it more, this treatment widely available now as opposed to the one place it was before?
When I was diagnosed, there was only one hospital, Loma Linda University Medical Center, Southern California. Today there are 5. There are 5 more under construction and about 40 more in the planning stages, so it is becoming more readily available.
I know one of the other things you want to do is make sure men understand prostate cancer, educate themselves about it, and get tested for it, because it is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's really something that you need to do at probably 40 years old, at least, to get checked yearly for it?
Well, generally speaking, all men at 50 or older should be tested every single year, PSA test and digital rectal exam.
Yes.
If you are at risk, if you're in a high-risk group such as African Americans, or if you have prostate cancer in your family, you should be tested beginning at age 40.
And you have something called the Brotherhood of the Balloon as well. Explain exactly what that is.
Well, I'm not going to explain exactly where the name came from, but it's a group of 3,500 men from 25 countries, all 50 U.S. states, who have prostate cancer. It's a group I founded when I was in treatment 8 years ago. We've all had proton therapy for prostate cancer. We promote proton therapy, we promote prostate cancer awareness, and we raise money for proton therapy research for prostate cancer.
You found, and I'm sure when you were going through the situation, it was probably very comforting to talk to others who had been through it. Are you finding the same thing now with the proton therapy? It sounds like you've got, as well as the book is doing with your group here, you've got growing numbers of people who are going this way and being comforted by what you experienced.
We spend a lot of our time talking with men who have been recently diagnosed to help them understand that prostate cancer is not a death sentence. Try to get yourself diagnosed as early as possible, because if you do, you have lots of treatment options. It's just a bump in the road. You can lead a normal life, and you don't have to have devastating side effects.
All right, and again, get that PSA every year and get the digital rectal exam. When you get your annual physical, you should be staying on top of that as well.
Absolutely.
For more information, Bob's website is protonbob.com. You can log in and get more information. I assume that's how you can get your hands on the book as well.
Yes.
That's great. Bob, we appreciate you coming in. Thanks for sharing your story as well.
Thank you.
Continued good health to you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All right, we have to take a time out. We'll continue here on the Fox 25 Morning News.